Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
Now, here's your host, Ed Cohen.
Hello, this is Ed in San Diego, and you're on Global TV Talk Show. The business unit is globalbusinessnews.net. And from there, you could see our radio show, our newspaper, our global PR tool, and of course, globaltvtalkshow.com. I thank you for being with us. Our very special guest today is coming to us from Toronto, Canada, and Emily Bron, that's B-R-O-N. She is a global lifestyle expert. In other words, she helps you, if you're interested, consider moving abroad, living somewhere else, working from somewhere else. So we all know that people from northern climates go south during the winter time. And so there's nothing strange about that. It's just today there's some complications with tax and legal and some security issues, and where there'll be a good fit. So Emily Bron has done it, and she's still doing it. Authentic, Emily Bron. So we're going to introduce her in just a minute. Emily Bron is owner and advisor, International Lifestyle Consulting. And her WhatsApp phone number is 647, have to dial 1, I think, in front of that, Canada. That's 647-292-4109. And the website, Emily Bron, EMILYBRON.com, EmilyBron.com, and you'll just see a wealth of information about this person who has lived it and is still living it. She's originally from Russia, the Ukraine area, but for more than 20 years. She's been living in Toronto area very successfully, involved in relocation advice and real estate and personal consulting. So we need to add in this disclaimer: nothing in International Lifestyle Consulting's information and resources and communications with clients should be construed as financial, taxation, immigration, or investment advice. Emily would right away connect you with reliable, certified professional sources, but you should always do your own diligence when seeking professional investment legal advice, including a thorough review of any offered business plan before investing, before buying anything. Anyway, Emily Bron is a straight shooter, a person with life experience. She'll tell you about that in just a minute, and lots of business experience. So once again, check it out, EmilyBron.com. You'll like it. So we'll be back in just a minute. We're back. This is Ed Cohen on Global TV Talkshow.com, and our special guest today is Emily Bron, coming to us from Toronto, Canada. Now, Emily is an international expert. She is the authentic one in this regard. Her business is all about helping people aspire to an international lifestyle. And so here's Emily Bron. Welcome.
Hello, Ed. Hello, everyone listening to us now. Yes, I'm here to get some information, maybe clarification about what I'm doing.
Yes.
Right?
Okay, so let me just do a quickie here. Emily Bron is owner and advisor of International Lifestyles Consulting. That's Emily Bron. That's EMILYBRON.com. You'll find a wealth of information and depth goes very deep on that website, emilybron.com. And for people who use WhatsApp, you could reach her in Canada at 647. You might have to dial 1 first, but 647-292-4109. Once again, emilybron.com, owner and advisor of International Lifestyle Consulting. Does this mean you're a realtor, a broker, or a relocation company? What does International Lifestyle Consulting mean to you?
What actually I'm doing for my clients and for the companies that I can help with, I'm helping to find the best matching for the particular situation, destination, ensure customer safety and well-being. I'm not realtor. I'm not immigration lawyer. I'm not taxation specialist, but I provide information, general information of this kind in regards to particular country. And after destination is clear and main questions kind of digested by the person, I'm connecting with professionals in home country, like Canada and United States. I'm working for our North American market mostly, as well with professionals in the destination country, where I'm connected with brokers, real estate developers, immigration lawyers, and different kind of professionals who might help people actually to make safe transition and to start the new life in new country and region.
Well, that's very good. And thank you very much for that brief description. It's very helpful and detailed. So once again, you help people relocate across borders, across time, across space, and you match them with a destination perhaps, as well as, if needed, professional counseling on tax and legal and health and whatever else is required for that particular situation. So retirement abroad is very technical, I would think. I don't know, people love, say, Mexico, or would love Bahamas or Curacao or wherever. But people need legal advice, and they need to clearly understand specifics about the target destination. Now, as I understand it, you have years of experience, personal experience of living it, doing it. So you're the authentic article. And so please tell our audience, which is worldwide, but 70% US and Canada, how your life experience has led you to today.
You're absolutely correct. So actually, my current business and current involvement came from my own experience and my desire to help people, because I've had actually 3 immigration behind in my experience, living in different cultures in different countries. I was born in what is now Moldova, in former Soviet Union. I lived for years in Ukraine. I lived in Israel. I'm living for 26 years in Canada, and now I'm on a stage of part-time relocation to Mexico from the business and personal perspective.
Yeah,
And
that's cool. So you're actually the authentic article in this regard. You're not Booker. You're not talking out of a book. You're talking about life experience.
yes, I'm walking my talk, and I did this transition, being in different age and being in different stage, being young woman with small children and family, being with teenagers. And now I am almost empty nester, looking for the next chapter of my life. So I really know from experience and understand different priorities and different pain points of the people of different age. Even I am currently more targeting and working with remote workers, with professionals and baby boomer professionals, but I fully aware of what kind of issues or hardship family might have relocating to this another direction. And I have personal experience of moving from country to country, actually without proper knowledge, without proper maybe preparation. I'm not even speaking about money, but I know how important to know, to be aware of what should be done upfront, how to do it correctly. It's what I'm about. Yes, today we have internet, we kind of have a lot of information, but even with internet, and maybe because of Google and internet, there is so much information that people might be lost. So
Right.
here I am, who is
Right.
doing this work.
Talking about getting lost. Now, what I understand from your writings that I've read up on to prepare for this is that you are looking at assisted, retirement, active living, assisted living facilities in Mexico with an eye towards seniors who may need some assisted living, whether it's for memory care or some kind of physical disability. Tell us about that. Is there a language issue in Mexico?
Language issues, you mean for expats?
Well, yeah, if Americans or Canadians go to live in Mexico and they're going to move into a senior residence, will the people there understand them?
Okay, there is kind of two-part question. So first of all, I would like to bring attention to the fact that and why I'm working with Mexico, and actually why I'm relocating to Mexico, and I'm not speaking Spanish. I know it's a challenge, but anyway, I do it because it, even based on 2019 statistic, more than 2 million of Americans and Canadians legally living in Mexico. And when I say legally, they have a status. I think maybe double amount is living now on a tourist visa or coming, back and forth as a snowboard for the season. So there is some language barrier, and I'm, for example, planning to learn Spanish, but I fully aware, even with my knowledge of other languages, that it will take time. And in different age we have different capacities, and it's one of the reasons that I am actually connected, and I'm researching and I'm looking for the places in Mexico where is already developed expat community, meaning there is already Americans, Canadians, many people, by the way, from Europe, from all kind of different countries are living for years. And they really helping people to accommodate, to give first example. They have very good language schools. Speaking in particular about assisted living communities, here obviously it's important to have English in place, but I can tell you that Mexican doctors, majority of them get education in United States. It's part of the educational or work experience. They have completed, and I know doctors, universities in Germany, so they are very well versed in English as well as other languages. So I'm not concerned here. There are a lot of doctors of high level with English. I'm looking more like kind of for nurses and different stuff, which is very important in caregiving. But why I'm involved in this particular project, it's kind of my aspiration as well, because I understand that many people who are already living in Mexico, expats, we're all we're all aging, so they will need this facility, maybe some of us. And from other side, there is a big problem. There is a big issue of such facilities in the United States and Canada. They exist, but they actually lost their credibility, in some extent during the COVID, and they're very expensive. And actually, sometimes they're not providing good care. And now I know what I'm speaking about, because I was learning, about these facilities And I'm actually coming with doctor who is specialized, doctor from Toronto, who is coming with me to evaluate these facilities in regards to standards we have in Canada and United States, and in regards to best treatment option known in Europe, in Middle East, and actually Mexican model is very interesting. I mean, Mexican model for assisted living, it's small houses, it's not big facilities. They have very interesting model, but we need to be sure that they build and treatment is done based on expectation of our retirees in United States and Canada. There is
So let me ask you then about the idea of houses. So a single family house or in a duplex or something, but not in a big deal, not in a multi-story, multi-acre park kind of a thing. So, but that means that there has to be built-in connections or some easy connecting with essential services that otherwise would be provided within a structure that's bigger, more institutional. So tell me about that, of course, when you can, but more so, what areas in particular do you like in Mexico, like Guadalajara, or in a more southern area near the capital city, or more coastal? What is your favorite?
First of all, I always differentiate what is good for me and what might be good for different people. It's part actually of my know-how consulting, because I'm looking person, I'm asking question to find the best matching destination, but bring awareness about different areas. So I've been myself in Baja California, in Mexico City, in central Mexican states that I really like. I have my place, I know Riviera Maya. I was in Guadalajara. I will be visiting in other places, in particular in regards to this topic next month. Answering your question, for myself, I selected Santiago de Querétaro city in Querétaro state. It's 2 hours driving from Mexico City. Wonderful UNESCO city, UNESCO recognized by architecture and cultural, heritage city.
What's the name of that city again?
Querétaro.
How do you spell that?
Querétaro.
Okay, great. All right. Is that west or north or south?
It's central. That's why I like it. It's central. It's what they say, colonial states. There are several states of Mexico around Mexico City, which are Querétaro, Guanajuato, wonderful state. I mean, wonderful climate, wonderful cultural background, which is very important for me. Pretty interesting culture for me, culturally different from other states with historical significance, with wonderful universities. In Querétaro, one of the best universities in the country. By the way, Guadalajara, a little bit on the side, but coming under the same area. So there's a known places as Lake Chapala in Ajijic. It's near the Guadalajara. It's a state, Jalisco. But I understand some people would prefer, like from California, for example, from your part of US, Baja California, like north and sur, and it's kind of known areas, and Tijuana is center of medical tourism. But there's a lot of different other cities already established and communities. And what I like about Mexico, there's a lot of different projects happening, over the last years, and even launched now. And some of them, they're working in specifically in direction of retirement active living, and assisted living facilities as well. So there is one I would visit in Lake Chapala. There is one I would visit with doctor in Mazatlan. I would visit one in Merida. It's another known colonial city, but on Yucatan Peninsula, with very good medical, facilities, known and very big expat communities of Americans and Canadians. In Puerto Vallarta, I will visit as well. I'm involved in some other projects with real estate companies in Mexico, but it's for a different conversation.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of interesting projects, and what I like what they do in some projects, they actually speaking about kind of two generational senior living. One building might be for it's for children of 60, 70 years old, and their parents who they cannot or don't want to live in United States and Canada, so they can come together. So if parents need assisted living, memory care or mobility problem, they would have kind of services they required in one building. And active living group of seniors who still can travel and keep the active lifestyle, they have apartment in the next building or maybe outside of this facility. And by the way, they can share the same, they have pools, they have spas, they have a massage, these services that actually good for both categories, and they can be, have a peace of mind that their loved one taking care, they can visit them, being in this facility, and at the same time, they can live their life, even working sometime part-time if they can. And I like this model. And actually, active living seniors have real model on how it's working. So, in different facilities, so they know where they would go. It's what I'm telling for speaking with real estate developers, that you need to look now ahead, advising people and inviting people to Mexico. They would age. So we need to think about it and have working facility for English-speaking, retirees in Mexico.
Hi, this is Ed, and I thank you for tuning in to Global TV Talk Show, a unit on globalbusinessnews.net. We broadcast to the world, as you know by now. So I wanted to make sure that you understand that our programs are advertising supported. We're grateful for co-sponsors, advertisers. They have a marketing budget coupled with a strong desire to be associated with our top quality program. And of course, I'm grateful. Well, here's our advertisers, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes or so, and we'll proceed with this interesting conversation. Thank you.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by Porch-like Rental and Destination Services. Reduce your renter lump sum or managed relocation costs. Visit them at porchlikerental.com.
And by airs.com. With our full range of services, we can help design and manage your international relocation. Find us at airs.com.
Primestone Partners, featuring corporate, government, and developer housing solutions, as well as senior-level advisory services. Find them at primestonepartners.com. Become a global player in your field.
Cross Culture to Go provides virtual support for your global business and career success.
We can help you thrive in 140 plus countries and markets.
On the web at crossculturetogo.com. Stop dreaming and start living overseas. International lifestyle consultant Emily Bron can help you seamlessly transition to your new life in your dream destination. Whether you are a retiree, a digital nomad, or a mobile executive, Emily Bron can make your transition overseas a success. Visit emilybron.com.
Kutalis is a global group with a worldwide footprint. With 16 agencies in 10 countries, Kutalis offers companies and mobile professionals a unique combination of HR services and options. Find us at kutalis.com.
Take your communication skills to the next level. Barbara Bolt of Bolt Global has a passion to make you shine. As our globe expands, effective intercultural communication and presentation is a must. Visit boltglobal.com.
We are pleased to welcome Adamo Education as a proud sponsor of Global TV Talk Show.
The concept of a microschool is the reimagining of the one-room schoolhouse. My name is Tamara Becker. I'm the president and CEO of Adamo Education. The microschool concept really does not just lend itself to the personalization and the customization of learning, but also the social development and fostering that sense of love for learning. Unlike what we see in traditional brick and mortar schools, we have multiple grade levels in the same learning space. Students can be enriched by the socialization that they get, as well as the academic support from peers. What differentiates Adamo is the fact that we are taking the best pieces of brick and mortar, of digital, and then at-home learning. Students here can come 5 days a week. They can come 4 hours a day. It will really just depend on what is best for the student and for the parent. To enroll, just reach out via phone, text, or email, and we'll have that personalized conversation, and we'll be able to get you all set. Check us out at adamoeducation.org.
Okay, so we're talking again with Emily Bron. That's EMILY, no space, BRON, emilybron.com. Go check it out. You'll be impressed. Thank you for all your detailed information and your explanation to support the headline stuff about living overseas. It's good to go deep under the covers and find out the real stuff. So obviously, there's choices, as you've outlined here briefly, not only in the type of living, but the location. And the location often means different weather. So like, for instance, south of here is Baja. Actually, Tijuana is about 9 miles from where I sit right now. And I could see it when I go outside. So it's very close to Tijuana here in San Diego. But we go south into the Sea of Cortez, and it's desert. It is isolated. It is actually beautiful in its starkness and very, very quiet and safe. And the Sea of Cortez, it's inland waterway. It's, of course, part of the ocean, but there's no waves, as opposed to being on the coast by, say, Cabo San Lucas or Ensenada in Mexico, which is about 90 minutes south of here in San Diego. Very different. You might as well be in LA. It is same weather, basically, as LA and San Diego. And the ocean breezes come off from the west northwest, typically, is how the winds go here in this region. And the ocean is quite cool. The Pacific is cold. It's not warm like the Atlantic is, or like the Gulf of Mexico is. So that impacts the weather. That impacts how you live and what you wear. And all of that goes into choosing the right lifestyle where people will be comfortable. And that's your expertise, is to get all that together, clearly understood, right?
Yes, I would add even additional factors. I'm obviously care and asking questions and speaking about weather condition, climate, which is very important to me. For example, I don't feel good with humidity, with very hot climate. For this particular reason, I selected for myself, more mountain spring-like weather of Querétaro, central Mexican state. But I'm also taking in consideration specifically for baby boomers, medical facilities around. It's very important. I'm asking questions. I have questionnaire actually when people coming to me, before they coming to me, about, the different aspects including, health concern and how close they need to be to home, to grandchildren, because it's all affect our life being, like well-being, and people sometimes not considered just because they don't have experience how important it to be. So I'm considering cost of living. It's very important and there is differences in cost of living and in property prices and in actually, prices in different Mexican states. I'm considering what people like to do, if people more for sport, for ocean, obviously Baja California might be a good place, and you outline the differences between different places, but in a big picture, I would like to show big picture. There's no ideal destination, I would say. And sometimes we need to make priorities. We need to understand that, there is health-wise, there is a cost of living, there is a cultural, there is the social environment, which is very important for some people. I mean, to live in expat community or maybe to live outside. So I'm just bringing to awareness all this aspect of life to explain what might be, expectation, and people are thinking about it. And by the way, I'm not advising to buy immediately property when you are intending to live, but to take your time to look around, to find how lifestyle in this community or maybe others really matching your situation, how you feel.
So we have to come to a close now. Once again, everybody out there in TV land, contact Emily directly at emilybron.com. What's the email they should use?
It's better to connect with me via business email info@emilybron.com.
There we go. Nice and simple. Well, thank you for making it simple for our audience. So one question I have, does American insurance, health insurance, work in Mexico? Or how does all that work?
You mentioned it's American insurance, so it's working in America as well as Canadian working in Canada. But by the way, for people who living on the border cities, there is no problem, and they're using both systems when they need, and they keep Medicare, for some big stuff. But I have living examples of people who are actually from different countries or from Canada, and there is insurances which are actually cheaper, might be better, I mean, condition-wise in Mexico. They have public care and they have private care. So I know even some Americans prefer not to have any insurance, but to pay for the private visit as you go. For some, when it's required, they found that it might be cheaper for them rather than to pay monthly fee. But the medical system is specifically private, on a level of American, maybe even higher in some areas, I would say, but prices are, I don't know, quarter, depending on what, like we are not speaking now, very affordable prices and good level of medical care. Like assisted living, it's a little bit different topics that still in development, but even and specifically in these facilities, level is not less, but even might be better than United States, because food is organic, food is natural, weather is good. It's all, add to the well-being of the patient. It's all increase life satisfaction and quality of life. Weather good, good food, good care. They're very caring people, Mexicans. So that's why I see a lot of a big future for this sector in Mexican hospitality and medical care.
Thank you for being on Global TV Talk Show, Emily Bron. It's been a learning experience for me, and I think for our audience. So have a good weekend coming up, and I wish you well on your exploits and your own personal trip coming up to Mexico.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me, and I know that I will have a lot of many interesting stories after coming back from Mexico. So I would be happy to share with you and with followers of this Global TV.
Well, we could do a broadcast from Mexico too.
Okay, good idea. Thank you.
All right, good. Thank you. And take care now. Be well.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.